Ms. Wu, you're passionate about the young people and their education. Now, there is a latest debate about the liberal arts education, which deals with how history is being taught. So what do you make of the nature of the latest discussion, Ms. Wu?
20 years ago, I mentioned to the first chief executive of Hong Kong, Mr. Tong, I said, we are going through from a post-colonial period into the special administrative region of the People's Republic of China. And I suggested to Mr. Tong, day one, we have to use our education bureau to train our young people to understand the transformation. And they need to understand that they are Chinese, born in Hong Kong, but they have to understand the country is China. And at that time, I remember I mentioned to Mr. Dong, if you don't take care of the young people of today, 20 years from now, they will say they are only Hong Kong people, they are not Chinese. This is the problem that we have faced 20 years ago. And the outcome of all this violence, the young people have been, actually, I would use the word brainwashed by other interested parties to say they are Hong Kong people, they want to have independence, they don't want to be part of China. And so this young generation in Hong Kong, who are now the high school students, university students, including the teachers, have all been instigated by this kind of misunderstanding. It's not going to be easy to take care of the job, not only just to take Chinese history back out from liberal studies, but it's an effort that the Special Administrative Region of Hong Kong, the central government, and the people who are in Hong Kong to try to do the utmost to reinstate that Hong Kong is part of China, first of all. And Hong Kong, the Education Bureau has to really give the young people from day one to understand they are part of China, they are Chinese. This is a long-term uphill battle. It's not going to be easy.
The liberal arts education regarding history, there are already proposals being made as to how it should be changed, the content of the earlier component of the liberal arts education. But it's not easy to change, to include what you consider as important component. So what's next? Now, how can we proceed?
I think this is a total effort of the chief executive for the Special Administrative Region, and together with the director of the Education Bureau, together with the general public of Hong Kong, and also the teachers in the schools, they have to have a positive and a correct attitude to teach Chinese history. The main problem now is not the contents of the history books, it's how the teachers teach the history, the modern Chinese history. And some of them have been taught in a very inaccurate method. So the students have been taught in a very negative attitude about Chinese history. So it's very important if we can have one standardized textbook on modern Chinese history to educate the students, also to really educate the teachers to teach Chinese history properly. It takes a lot of effort because I think in Hong Kong, some of the teachers are pretty anti-China and also anti-Hong Kong.
Some from the opposition side in Hong Kong were trying to argue putting new content about the history of Hong Kong and its relation with the motherland and its colonial past might mean that the Hong Kong SAR government is trying to brainwash the young people in Hong Kong in a different way.
Personally, I feel they can look at how Singapore transformed from a post-colonial, I will use the city-state, into the Singapore of today. So if at that time the Singapore leaders like the late Lee Kuan Yew, if they did not write the correct Singapore history, I don't think the Singaporeans are so patriotic as of today. So to borrow a page from Singapore, Hong Kong, we need to re-identify ourselves as a special administrative region of China. So it's really important that we should rewrite Chinese history, the modern Chinese history correctly, and also to understand, to rewrite how Hong Kong transformed from the post-colonial period into SAR. And this is the duty and responsibility of the Hong Kong government. This is not what the opposite camp and not foreigners can interfere with what we are trying to do for our younger people of they are the citizens of tomorrow.
Ms. Annie Wu, in her conversation with me, emphasizes the importance of training teachers first and telling citizens undistorted and factual information by the media. Let's listen in. You've been working and supporting with your time, effort, money, energy for the education and exchanges for the young people in Hong Kong and also from the motherland. Now, tell me more about, in order to do that and further improve the level of exchanges, what needs to be done, Ms. Wu?
Since 1997, now we have gone through 23 years. Looking back at the last 20 years, we have not been carrying out the arrangement correctly. I will use the word education, educating the young people. We did not do a good job. So if we start from day one today, I personally hope to see the SAR government working together with the education department in Hong Kong, try to do things step by step, and try to understand to promote this system, how to train the young people and the teachers first, to understand Chinese history correctly, which is the number one step, because the teachers are really the people who influence the students. On the other hand, the central government, they should really back up the chief executive and the SAR government to do things in Hong Kong, I would use the word correctly, not to just try to do things sidestep. This is a two-pronged approach. Also in Hong Kong, because our media have been very much distorted, I use the word distortion, and we don't have correct presentation of news from time to time. And this is the handicap of Hong Kong. So it also may be another job that the chief executive and the SAR government, they should take care of the news and the broadcasting and handle a lot of information correctly to be released to the public, or else the public will have a lot of inaccurate information. Personally, I'd like to see that more people in the society should really understand that we should provide accurate information to the young people, and they should try to stand up to work in their own schools, because we have 400 high schools in Hong Kong, and I think we have about 600 primary schools. And if all these school principals, if they can try to do things correctly and support the government, then we can have the force from the average person. So it takes everyone to do something for Hong Kong.
COVID-19, of course, both Hong Kong and the mainland have been handling it properly and efficiently. Now, almost zero new clusters. Having said that, though, it is cutting off a certain extent the interactions among localities, even within China itself. So how would you be able to promote further exchanges, which could not be even more crucial at this point, and in this year, of the young people in Hong Kong and from the motherland, from the mainland?
A lot of my friends overseas in other countries, they are very astonished, and they gave a lot of credits to our country, to China, for really containing the COVID-19 in Wuhan and in Hubei province. They were surprised, and especially our friends from Europe, is that they should learn from China to how to handle the situation, handle the pandemic. In Hong Kong, I should give credit to our SAR government. They also have been very effective in handling the situation in Hong Kong, because we are not a small population. We have 7 million population, and also because we are not locked down, we still have to open up the flights to overseas. So as of now, because we are still not having a direct access to mainland and also direct access to other countries, I personally feel the first priority for the SAR government is to really, first of all, handle the pandemic, still contain it as much as possible. Secondly, we have to look into the problem of maintaining the livelihood of the blue-collar workers, because Hong Kong now is going through the worst period of economy, and this is a very important issue to keep people, I would say, at least minimum wage or something that the government is doing already. For the young people for exchange, I would suggest that we should leave it later, after October, when we are going to see Hong Kong situation better in terms of economy and development. We can't try to overstep other important issues before we try to look into the exchange of students, or maybe to have more cultural exchange. I would look at it after October and November.